Heyo! Welcome to the SpongeDudes. It is I, Babbage.
Is I Clater Tot Tot?
It is I, Tommy the Supplement Aficionado. Check out our Patreon for behind the scenes footage of my supplement tier list. It's good stuff.
It's well worth it. So,
Oh my god.
Tommy, you gotta stop eating the chips, man.
Alright, sorry. I'm being very unprofessional. I'm sorry.
So,
This is a professional podcast. I forgot.
We are here to talk to you. Now you got the jet running.
Go on.
God. Now we're here to review a SpongeBob episode. We're on episode 10. That is going to be Culture Shock / Fun. We hope you have fun listening to us. And, and you know, I don't know what else to say except let's go. Yeah. So anyway, Culture Shock is the first episode we're going to review here. The basic startup of this episode is going to be a Krusty Krab not busting down. You know, there's no one in there. And these guys are getting bored. They're just doing their best. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean, except somehow Squidward is finding a way to dream about being a famous dancer. Mr. Krabs has constructed a free salad bar. It's not drawing anybody in. Until this one guy walks in. Mr. Krabs loses his heckin' mind, forces this man to sit down. SpongeBob goes over. He's going to serve him his best service. And the guy just wants some change so he can ride the bus. So SpongeBob gives him that change. And then he tips SpongeBob a penny. And Mr. Krabs smells the money. And body slams the table trying to grab that penny. And
He destroys his table for a penny.
Yeah, like
he does like
repairing
a
the table
WWE
definitely
wrestling
cost
move
more
on the
than the
table.
penny.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then he pulls everyone in his office for a team meeting. You know, that classic business is down. What are you going to do about it? Even though that's not really their job. And SpongeBob gives the worst ideas you've ever heard. Like,
Mouthful
none
of
of his
clams
make any
day,
sense.
anybody?
Oh, where did he get those clams from? He just started announcing
He's God.
these ideas.
He just always is prepared for his horrible fucking ideas.
And then that leads Squidward into realizing that this can be a talent show, so that's what he decides to do. Well, that's what he convinces Mr. Krabs to do by convincing him that his daughter could be a star, which she can't. He's lying. Do you think he knew that when he said that, or?
I mean, that's his daughter.
No,
Once he believes
Squidward.
it.
Do you think Squidward knew he was
Squidward.
promising like an empty promise?
No, I think he was delusional enough to believe that he was good enough to, win the people over.
I guess so, but right before she goes on, he's immediately like, nepotism.
Yeah, he wrote that pretty good joke about it.
I know, Patrick liked it.
Patrick
Wow.
really liked that.
Patrick
joke. Yeah, that's a good
loved it.
So come up to the talent show. We're setting up. SpongeBob's told Squidward he invited his parents, and he's just like, "Hey, can I be in this talent show? Like everyone I know is coming." And then he shows Squidward this talent that he wants to do, where he blows a bubble of a hippopotamus and then does tap dancing with it. It's actually really impressive, and Squidward acts like there's no art involved in that at all. I was kind of offended for SpongeBob with that.
Yes.
Dang, guys, you don't think anything about this episode? It looks like Clayton fell down a flight of stairs. Took a tumble.
Hello.
Anyway,
I like how it was all really fancy when everybody was driving up to the talent show.
Yes, I enjoyed that everyone was there, like the Oscars type of thing, or like a really important show. Everyone's in tuxedos. So Pearl gets on. Well, Squidward announces Pearl with a couple of jokes, which Patrick just continues to laugh at as loudly as possible. Which we all seem to enjoy that bit when we watched it. And then Pearl comes up and does a cheerleading routine. And
that cheerleading routine, that was she
very good.
She's very large and destroyed a bunch of people and probably broke people's legs. Because Fred My Leg made an appearance.
He did.
Of course.
Pearl is a Tommy, you snorting cocaine off your desk because that's what that looks like.
Exactly, yeah.
Pearl's a giant whale. We don't know who Pearl's mom is or how the crab and the whale managed to mate.
Have we seen another whale in the show?
Yeah, I remember the one that got bagged in Sandy's Rocket. Yeah, that was bagged up. But
you think they're related?
No, because that one was enormous, and she's not that big. Of course, she's still young.
Maybe Pearl's like a tiny whale.
Yeah,
wasn't the episode where the Rip My Pants, the drummer was a whale?
Yeah, he was a killer whale. He should have been murdering everyone there.
He should have,
because
especially
killer whales are
just go ahead
vicious.
And get him out.
How many killer whales have you know? Is that just a rumor you've heard? My goodness.
Yeah, actually, it's what I read on the internet about him. My parents actually told me about that. They saw it on Facebook.
Just the headline, though, right?
Yeah, they didn't read any of the actual article. They saw the headline. Yeah, that's right.
Articles are for chumps.
This is what this is what they were told to think. So yeah, like Tommy said, my leg makes an appearance there because she's jumping up and down, and everyone is like getting smashed up into the air. So she causes a lot of damage, which would probably cost the Krusty Krab a lot of money in like insurance fees. So I think Mr. Krabs is losing money just by existing.
I'm sure they had to sign a waiver. There's no way Mr. Krabs let them in without that.
Waiver because they're underwater.
You got me. I totally planned that.
Wave.
Yeah. I found that forward thinking. Yes. Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
He set it up for himself.
So then we introduce one other bit I want to focus on before we get to the most important bit would be, but before that we get to Gary doing poetry, which is just Gary saying meow over and over again. And then we get Sandy talking about this and saying he has such a way with words, but like swooning over him.
He has such a way with words.
Dude, she was ready to start flicking her squirrel bean right then.
Why, dude?
Why?
Wait, wouldn't it be called a nut then? Because squirrels collect nuts.
I like how Gary cleared his throat before he started reciting.
He sounded like a full-grown man. Meow, meow, meow. So then we get to the bit where Plankton tries to steal a Krabby Patty. He's doing a magician act. And of course, that gets stopped by Mr. Krabs, and then he does a really obviously Plankton's act is booed, and the crowd starts getting restless, and Mr. Krabs is worried about losing money, so he sprints back to the back of the stage, and there's like a flame trail following his legs when he hits the brakes, and he's yelling at Squidward. He's like, "We gotta get this show back on the road." So Squidward's like, "I got the best act coming up. Don't worry." And it's Squidward announcing himself, and then he does an interpretive dance.
It's really good.
Very good dance.
Yeah.
And he was wearing like a skin tight, like a leotard.
He was looking good.
Yeah, he's got like a unitard.
Oh yeah, unitard.
He definitely was training his body for the moment. What? Did someone say something funny?
I said unitard. No, I said unitard, and Tommy said, "Oh yeah, unitard." And I said, "That's what you are."
Oh,
Oh, brother,
Just-
this guy
just shut-
stinks.
just cut that shit out. Oh my
Cut the.
I didn't say the R word, so it's okay. It can stay in. So then people really hate this, and then they started throwing tomatoes from the salad bar that's still free. And then Mr. Krabs throws $1 on it, and somebody walks up and hands him $1 and says, "This is worth it." And that's
This
how
is
Mr.
worth
Krabs does make
every
his money for
penny.
the night. Yeah, and they're just bombing him with the dollar bills, and then towards Squidward, they're bombing him with the tomatoes. So then the show ends, and SpongeBob is allowed to go out and do his talent, which is not a talent; it's actually him mopping. But the crowd is loving it.
It takes talent to mop.
How many times have you mopped, Noah, in your life?
Forward and
A
back
lot.
or side to side?
Yeah, are you forward,
A
back,
lot.
side to side?
I'm side to side.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I mean I'll switch it up hit him with the switcheroo every once in a while.
Do the circle, you know.
Sometimes I'll do what Patrick did and turn it on the wooden side and use the wood side.
Hey, pal, you just blown from Stupid Town. So yeah, the crowd is loving SpongeBob mopping, and then you have a little bit of SpongeBob and Squidward like swapping back and forth, and they're quiet or booing Squidward whenever he's doing it, and then clapping and really celebrating SpongeBob and his success of mopping.
They want an encore.
And then the episode just sort of ends. Mr. Krabs gets a lot of money, and he's like, "Can't wait to do this next week." And that's it.
Why is SpongeBob's dad pushing around Mr. Krabs in the wheelbarrow?
Because Mr. Krabs is rich, so
So what?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
People
actually.
do weird things for rich people.
They
maybe
employed.
they were in cahoots with one another.
Mm.
Maybe he gets a cut.
I think you're
This
putting a
is
little too
true.
much faith in SpongeBob's dad. He is not shown to be very
Hey. Come on.
What?
Don't be like that. Be respectful.
But anyway, that's the
Right.
episode.
That's the end of the episode.
Culture shock. On the second part of episode 10, which is the episode named Fun, or is it the episode named F.U.N? Because it's got the dots after it in the title.
You know, that's very
It's personal
interesting.
preference.
And what is your personal preference?
Fun.
Fun,
Fun.
your personal
it's-
fun.
It's just easier and quicker to say.
See, I did like the mic, like I was interviewing you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
They'll get it. They'll get it.
All five of them.
So,
Which is four of
this
us.
episode- God.
They're just gonna throw himself at a wall.
It's like a herding cats, you know, that old saying.
What's the saying?
It's like herding cats.
I'm gonna poop myself. I'm gonna do it on screen.
It almost feels coordinated.
Who else wants to host? Because I'm tired of it.
Oh, he has a way with words.
All right, let's let Baby J do his thing. I'm sorry, Baby J.
No, that's funny. It's all content, baby. So anyway,
I fucking hate that.
this episode begins with in the Krusty Krab again, with a narration talking about how it's just a normal day, except now it's busting down. You know, just a normal day, not dead like the beginning of the last episode. And then the alarms blare, bunch of metal clang shut on the windows. People are going nuts. It's like an active shooter drill. Which, by the way, your options when the active shooter is facing you is run is the first option, and then hide is the second, and then fight is the third. So Just so you guys know, that's my manager training from where I work.
Yeah, I had to take HR assignments like that too.
You work from home.
I still had to take. I still had to take after active shooting training.
What if it's you, since you work from home?
I mean, people live with me. I mean, it could be my dogs. Like, what are they?
You look in the mirror and you see yourself. Oh my god! And then you run away. Yeah. Anyway, it's Plankton still in a Krabby Patty. He's the active shooter. He uses a laser to escape the metal, and everyone's freaking out. And SpongeBob jumps down, and he says he'll take care of it, and he rips off his own skin to reveal a second set of skin where he looks the exact same. And then he chases down the Krabby Patty. So there's some weird geography going on here, because it's always been shown the Chum Bucket being right across the street from the Krusty Krab. So Plankton would just, by all sense, just go straight across the street. But he doesn't. He just disappears into town, where SpongeBob tries to track him down. I don't remember the exact order of this. I apologize.
Plankton runs out, and he's running down the street and activates like a helicopter backpack thing. And then SpongeBob, conveniently, there's a cop there spinning his baton, and SpongeBob grabs that and flies away, and the cop falls in love with him for his heroic deeds.
He goes
yet
full,
again.
my hero.
Yeah, I think the purpose of that was, Plankton's such a high intellect. He was like, they're probably all going to think I'm just going to go right across the street, so I can't let them know my next move, so I'll pull a fast one on them.
But I think the actual thinking is, like, if I commit a crime across the street and then I get back home, that doesn't just make the crime like they just can't do anything about it.
No.
Right?
He just wants to steal the Krabby Patty formula, so once he gets that, he'll just have it. He doesn't care if he gets caught for the crime. He just wants the formula.
Does.
They won't take that away.
Does.
He'll put it in his computer Karen wife, and then that'll be it. Anyway, building, Plankton escapes, and SpongeBob blows up his hat and rides it down like a hot air balloon. And then
a bull.
Yeah, continues to ride it like a bull.
Because he bounces by the cowboy and cowgirl, and they're like, yeah.
I don't like how he slaps the hat to get down. I don't like that. It's so sexually charged.
I think that's what got those other guys all riled up. So then he goes into like this the Plankton with the Krabby Patty like over his whole body, goes into a magic shop and comes back out with a disguise on, which just got like glasses and a fake nose and a mustache, and SpongeBob doesn't recognize it. And then he basically just like irritates Plankton to the point where he gives up the Krabby Patty, which causes the entire town to call him a loser. And they're celebrating SpongeBob's victory. They lose interest in that, and SpongeBob thinks, "Man, if only he had a friend." Now, while we were watching, Tommy pointed out something very funny about the magic store window.
Yeah, some premium background work and animation. There's like an image of a bunny just drawn on a piece of paper. So I've noticed throughout this first season there is some
cutting corners on that animation cost.
Yeah.
Tommy, you feel
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Tommy's about 6.
Do you not like describing things?
We're at 8 minutes. 8 minutes later, Tommy's going to be passed out in that computer chair as soon as we finish talking to him.
So y'all complain about the animation, like the background animation? I like it. It's funny. It's very simple.
Well, no, I think it's funny, but I think it's just definitely like a cost-cutting thing.
Because it's so shitty.
I wouldn't say it's simplistic. It's definitely like placeholders.
Yeah,
it's still
like
funny. I love
it's
like the
season
still
1.
frames of like when it's zooming in on like the Krusty Krab and they're all just standing in place T-posing.
Also, Squidward going, how's it feel to be the most hated creature in Bikini Bottom? It hurts, doesn't it? I know.
Yeah, okay, that's just obviously implied that he was at one point hated.
I think
in
that
the
it's
community.
simply just not that day that he's not the most hated. It's going to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I get really heavy Ray Romano vibes from Squidward, from like Everybody Hates Raymond type. Like that's just how he lives his life, right?
Yeah, except Squidward's more angry and bitter, whereas Ray Romano is just like, "Oh no."
What happened? Anyway, see you next week.
Tell me, are you okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm Ray Romano, am I right?
It's a really good Ray Romano impression.
I'm Ray Romano. Oh no!
Oh my god! Comedy is Pete.
Comedy.
You got to do Christopher Walken for the rest of the.
Oh my god!
This random hot dog car.
I'm not even supposed to be here.
Oh, but don't jack
sorry,
off.
baby. We'll let you continue. Sorry.
That's that naive cube.
I started quoting Turbo Time at work, by the way. So you're not part of the Turbo team. Don't run.
Only walk.
Call me right now.
Call me now, please.
Call me now, please.
So, SpongeBob devises a plan to become friends with Plankton. Meanwhile, Plankton, when presented with this option, devises a plan, or I would say actually his computer wife devises a plan for him to be able to steal the Krabby Patty formula by faking being friends with SpongeBob. So SpongeBob recommends that they go out and catch some jellyfish in the jellyfish fields. And he's like, all right, so you catch it, then what do you do? He's like, you let it go, but be careful with the stingers. And then Plankton has this...
Stingers?
Yeah.
I could use those and take over Bikini Bottom.
He has this, like, not a flashback, but like an imagination, like, dream of like him on top of a robotic
in the knee to Plankton. All hail Plankton.
All knees will bend to Plankton.
He's riding this giant fucking jet. That's just awesome.
And he's taking over Bikini Bottom, so that's good stuff. And then we lead into SpongeBob explaining that they just need to have fun, and the only way to explain that is by singing this song.
Of course.
Describe it. And we get the iconic Fun song. Are there any specific bits you guys liked about that, or?
It's for
Plankton's
friends
rendition.
Stuff together.
I always wanted to hear the end of Plankton's, but it gets cut off by a record
I want to hear
scratch.
the end of the N.
He just says the N word, but he puts the hard R on it.
Plankton's a gamer certified.
So then, like I said, we get the Fun song. Mr. Krabs sees them singing the Fun song with like the title cards and everything in the background, which I thought was pretty funny through like the binoculars or whatever, or the telescope. What is that called? The pirates use the one you stretch out. Jackson was here.
Periscope, isn't it a periscope?
I'd say periscope. But that's what they use on
Telescope? I think
submarines,
it's a
so
telescope.
something like that.
I don't
Alright,
fucking
we'll go
know.
with that.
One of them.
Anyway,
Binoculars?
so then
Can I bring up? There was just one weird detail that it just made me exhale through my nostrils when they were looking through the binoculars. I like how their eyes just like extend out into the binoculars and they're like coming out of the holes. I don't know. It looks pretty goofy to me, and it made me chuckle. Anyways, continue.
It's got that real awooga, like eyeballs popping out of the head type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Piano
Me when I
falls
sit-
on your head. Piano keys for teeth. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
That
Me
whole
when I see
thing.
Big Booba, Woo! Yeah.
Big booba.
Anyway,
Bossino?
Booba, I guess.
Anyway, Mr. Krabs is
It's
trying
interesting. The
to warn
booba.
SpongeBob. It's trying to warn
Keep going.
SpongeBob, please. Please.
Go.
Mr.
Go,
Krabs
you
is
bitch.
trying to warn...
Jambalaya.
More like Kumbalaya. Am I right, boys?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Big jambalaya. Ooh, God. So Mr. Krabs tries to warn SpongeBob about a devious plot that obviously Plankton is trying to plan. Plankton is actually falling into the trap that SpongeBob has set of actually being friends. So then they decide to meet up at the Krusty Krab for a moment. Mr. Krabs is going to set a trap for Plankton to try and prove that he is unfaithful in his friendship. So he sets a Krabby Patty on the table.
Unfaithful.
He sets a Krabby Patty on the table and then pulls SpongeBob aside, and Plankton's just sitting there looking at the Krabby Patty. So then they're like, SpongeBob is pretty much offended for Plankton, and he's like, let's go see a movie. And Mr. Krabs is like, maybe I'm wrong about Plankton. And then a cardboard cutout of the Krabby Patty falls over. And so Plankton has clearly taken that Krabby Patty, which is just too bad because, you want to see these guys make the swap. And so then they go to the movie and they sit down and the Bubble Bass sits on Plankton and you get this whole weird, like, yeah, he gets his weird butt
He
mashing thing. Where
rolls
like,
his cheeks.
yeah,
You
he's really
guys
into it.
ass ate out by Plankton. Don't lie.
I'm sorry,
He
tell
got-
me. What?
You got
Are you
his
conscious?
ass ate by Plankton. Yeah, I'm
Alright.
alive.
He's slumped.
So anyway, after that, SpongeBob gets Bubble Bass to leave, and then Mr. Krabs is like on the projector. And he's like, "Check your pockets. He's treating you wrong." And everyone in the theater checks their friend's pockets, pulls out something, and leaves. It's like money in a pocket watch, and then like an artery or something. I don't know what the one in the back is. I couldn't
SpongeBob
figure it out.
reaches into Plankton's foreskin and pulls out the.
Whoa.
None of these people are wearing pants that they reach into the pockets of. It's all
Skin
skin
pockets.
pockets. It's awful.
No.
I don't know what's happening.
No. Plankton isn't circumcised?
I mean, it shows. It shows.
So
in this
Kanye West
episode.
would like Plankton
Hang on.
because he's not Jewish.
But he loves Jewish people. He said it himself.
So anyway, they find the Krabby Patty, and then it turns out Plankton is too tempted by it, and he jumps through the screen on the movie theater and smashes behind it because apparently there's a brick wall behind all of those. And then Mr. Krabs is like, "That's all right, boy. No one can resist the Krabby Patty." And then they're like, "We can go back to the Krabby Patty or to the Krusty Krab, and you can have a Krabby Patties on me." And he said, "Well, maybe at a discount." And I think I want a Krabby Patty so bad.
But
I
I'm
gotta
gonna
know.
tell you.
You know?
So
I mean,
is it
that's-
crab? Is it
it's
made
either-
out of crab?
It's whatever you want it to be. The allure of it is why it's so tempting. It's whatever you want.
So back when like
The mystery's better than whatever an answer would be.
back when every kids channel had like a magazine, like a subscription service that you could get. Of course, you had like the Disney Adventure, I think was what it was called, and then Nickelodeon had one, Nickelodeon magazine. They used to show an ad for it all the time, and it was like, here's some of the stuff you will see, and one of them was like gourmet recipes, and it had the Krabby Patty like showing you how to make it. I think that's the only way, right?
What was it made out of?
I didn't
Rats.
say. I didn't ever look to see because obviously I
Oh,
never got
rats?
the Nickelodeon subscription because
I
I
don't-
was poor. Not like now
Excuse
where
me?
I'm super rich.
Yeah, if you can't tell from like, everything about us, we're all just jacked. We're just loaded and buff and jacked.
Look at all
We
the
can look at the
supplements that I
supplements.
own.
Yeah, we
Wait,
can
no,
see the
no. Cut
No,
that.
no. Leave those one. Leave those one. Put those back down. So that brings us to the end of the episode of Fun and to the end of episode whatever this was, 10 of
10,
SpongeBob.
yeah,
I do have a question about
Okay,
earlier
what's your
in
question?
the Fun episode. Here is
Sure.
my question. I'm going to announce it now. The beginning sequence feels like a retelling, like it's not actually maybe how it exactly went down. If you know what I mean. If you guys know what I mean, like because Squidward's like so into it, he's like, "Oh, Mr. Krabs, Plankton's here," and everything. It just feels like a dramatized version of the events that unfolded.
Yeah, because like Plankton's into like spotting Plankton, or sorry, Squidward's into spotting Plankton. Like he's like,
Yeah, and I feel like that would go back to your guys' point of where he probably just went across the street to the chum bucket, but SpongeBob's retelling of it's like, man, I had to chase him, I had to make a bull out of my hat. Like, it's crazy.
interesting take. I like that.
Yeah, speaking towards your point of the dramatization of this episode, like when SpongeBob went into Plankton's pocket and pulled out the Krabby Patty and had a really like heartfelt and emotional, discussion about how could Plankton do such a thing, and even Plankton like breaks down and starts crying. It's pretty emotional. But then, he pulled a fast one on us all. I was like, no, I just actually like to be evil. And then he just ran away into a concrete wall.
As a kid, them crying made me really sad. And only on the first viewing, obviously. But, yeah, I don't know. It got to me as a 5-year-old, however young I was.
It got to me now.
Yeah, Noah's
I shed a
slobbering over
tear.
the mic.
I shed it.
And only some of that was tears, so...
Yeah, we actually had to take a couple minutes to let him like regain himself.
I feel that.
So anyway, as we reach the end of the episode here, I'm going to ask you guys for a rating and a favorite bit. If you care to elaborate, you can go ahead and do that. We're actually going to switch it up. We're going to start with Timmy Tom Jim Jam because I think he's going to pass out if he doesn't go first.
Whatever do you mean, Babbage?
Whoa.
You missed one. Go back and do it again.
Whatever do you mean, Babbage?
There it is. You got it that time.
One too many, dude.
While you tell us your favorite moment and rating, can you be eating a new chip for us to guess?
Hold on, I'll be right back.
That'll be great for listening to in the car. No, he has to be right back. Rip. Noah, go ahead.
I would probably give this a 4.0 out of 5 Spongies. It was an average episode. Still very funny. Classic giggles, like whenever Squidward is going over his commentary and Patrick just starts busting out laughing. Great acting.
It's like he paid Patrick to laugh at that part, right?
Actually,
Well,
they use that scene as inspiration for the scene in The Joker where he doesn't know when to laugh. Fun fact.
My favorite part is definitely Squidward's dancing. Just remarkable. Great dancing.
That is a good bit. That dance is like it's like one of those where like you put it over like any song and it goes with it.
All right, I would rate the episode as a whole. Probably, I'd give it 3 Spongies out of 5, especially coming off of this previous episode, which I thought was just banging. This one wasn't so. There were some laughs for sure, but it wasn't as frequent as the previous episode. And my favorite moment, I would say, I really liked the part where Gary was, doing his poetry thing, and he was just meowing to the crowd, and everyone loved it, especially Sandy. Anyways, with that,
Oh my god!
Just to end, my 8 out of 10 for me. I was kind of disappointed. I thought this was going to be a better episode. I mean, 8 out of 10 is still high, but I thought it was going to be like a 10 out of 10 for me, honestly. favorite moment is probably just going to be SpongeBob taking the baton and flying up with it, and the police officer just absolutely falling in love with him. That's it for me.
Nice.
Good stuff.
IMDb ranks this at an 8.7 out of 10, which is pretty much one of the higher ones that we've had. I don't remember the other one that was super high, but
It was pizza delivery for sure.
yeah, I think Pizza Delivery had like 8.7 or maybe 8.9.
It was a 9. It was like
they're
a
very
9.5
close
or something.
together. I personally really liked this episode as well. I think I laughed a lot at Culture Shock. I didn't take a lot of notes like when we were watching it, but like it was like consistently funny, and F.U.N was pretty funny because I really like Plankton just being an utter creep in season 1. Like I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's just wild.
Oh, he's having a good time.
So I'm actually going to agree completely with IMDb. I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10, and I have an ad for Lego here. So 8.7 Legos out of 10 Legos. My favorite bit in this episode was the all knees will bend to Plankton, his imagination of what harnessing a jellyfish would be. So
Yes. All knees will bend to Plankton.
So there we go. Tommy's munching chips. Noah has really long, nice, luscious hair. Clayton's wearing a beanie. And I've got a mustache. So I don't know what else you could have from us. Clayton, your hair looks like not Noah's. And you know that.
Clayton, your hair is very beautiful. Keep it up. It looks great.
Wait, put it up. That's
Baby
what he said.
Jay's just jealous
I'm
that
gonna mail it to Baby J with shit in it.
he's just mad he doesn't have our beards, dude.
He doesn't want my straggly shit.
Baby J, you like this, don't you? How like my chin just doesn't grow right there.
I like the way it tickles whenever you kiss me, but so anyway, that's us ending the episode. Finally, mercifully. Good luck editing this, Clayton and Tommy. Go to bed, buddy. All right, we'll see you next week. Or
Goodbye,
whatever.
our
Bye,
loyal
Spongies.
followers. If you were new, continue. Follow us.
If you're new, I'm sorry.
Join us in this journey. Because we got
a
about
long ways
6
to go.
more seasons to go. You're
6?
locked
Fuck
in there
that.
for me for 6 seasons. Canceled.
I got you for 6 seasons. You're going nowhere.
That's a cute outfit. Your husband sew that for you?
Oh no. Oh no. It didn't age well. Bye.
Peace.